Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's interview. I am Jocelyn from BDW Media, and it's a pleasure to have with us Cliff Gura, Head of Sales and Support at First Basic Technology. First Basic is dedicated to helping business and individual integrate daily operation with cost-efficient and effective technology solution. Today, we will explore the company culture, technological innovation, and market position and future growth plan. Let's begin by getting to know First Basic a little bit better. Could you give our audience a brief introduction to First Basic background and journey so far?
Yeah, it was registered in the year of 2018, first year of incorporation. We pivoted into internet. At first, the whole idea was we will come into the sector as telecommunication contractors, but we realized we needed consistent cash flow to fund operations. So the only thing that would make sense at that particular time was to establish a wing that would provide internet, which will provide the daily capital or liquidity that will be able now to help us fund these other projects that are coming through telecommunication contracting. So the year is 2020, COVID comes in. There's a spike in demand for internet connections, both from homes and businesses. And it's at that point whereby we now started seeing it as a real business and as an actual opportunity that is there in the market. COVID came with its own challenges. People were losing jobs. Materials were hard to get. Even if they were available in the market, it was a bit expensive. Say something that is currently going for 1,800 or 2,000 at the market. Currently, basic home routers that are being used for home connections are going for as low as 1,300. During COVID time, they would go as high as 3,500. So even if you are a new entrant coming into the market at that time, equally, there was still some challenge. As much as the opportunity was there, the cost was equally high. Clients were equally losing their jobs, or even if guys were not losing their jobs, they wanted to preserve the little that they have because of COVID and the uncertainty that was there. So there was an opportunity, still the same. You couldn't tap into it 100%. Compliance was still low as well. There is only little we could do to run as fast as we were able to run. So 2021, doing the test run, 2022, we now made it official that we are going into the business as we pivoted. We now switched we started with wireless connections, and then we reached a certain point whereby we had so many clients. Now managing wireless connection past a certain number, it becomes so difficult. So any consultant we engage with at that particular time encouraged us if we could go now to the fiber connection, FTTH and FTTB. So again, that was equally another milestone because it involved a lot of capital fundraising for us to pivot from wireless to fiber. We started with that at 2022. So since 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, I would say we have been basically building the back-end infrastructure in terms of how do we connect with our peers, the upstream providers, how do we connect with home connections, how do we connect with home users, how do we differentiate ourselves from the established players, even from the new upcoming players. I would say it has been a curve of learning since 2022 to now, but now we are getting our foot well settled because we have a well-established backend infrastructure hosted at Pan-African Insurance, Pan-African Data Center. We equally appeared with two global IPT providers. We have our own CDN servers. We have peering with two internet exchange. So, and we are seeing a reliability or even in terms of stability with regards to our services. We're also able to negotiate for better rates from our upstream providers, meaning as much as we're providing reliable services, we're also winning on the affordability part of it.
Thank you for sharing this. Could you also introduce the team and how different roles cooperate to deliver result, and how do you describe the company culture as I can see it on the website? And from your perspective, how do you foster team cohesion and encourage innovations?
Let me go with the description of the company culture, which is just rooted on innovation. It's rooted on learning every day. It's a new day to learn. So I would say we haven't taken advantage of our position to try and assume that we are in a true position of knowledge. We are always exploring these new ideas that are coming in. Starlink was recently a big threat to the market. That was last year. So we equally had to learn a way around how do you work with new players? How do you incorporate new innovations that are coming into the market. Still, there are some innovations that are coming in, and we are still looking on how ways of, not rather to fight, but how ways we can leverage these new technologies, like let's say satellite to cellular internet connection. That's going to disrupt the business. It's going to disrupt the landscape. So how are we going to align ourselves towards such new innovations that are coming into the market? So corporate culture is every day we are learning, every day we should be improving our services. We should be taking any feedback from the client to use it to improve our services.
Thank you. Now we have covered the company and the team. Let's talk about what set First Basic apart in the market and who your main user are. What do you think that differentiate First Basic from another internet service provider in your country?
In terms of our main differentiating strategy has always been we have not really focused on tapping in or getting clients from the mass market, meaning our footprint is rather small. So if it's small, it means we are able to provide our services on real-time basis. If it's new installation, we're able to do it under 24 hours. If it's support services, they're able to be done under 12 hours, meaning there's little to no chance that a support ticket would escalate to the next day. So we have been growing on the basis that if we are going into a particular area, we focus on a very small kilometer radius square, so that if we position a technician there, we know that he is able to cater into the needs of every individual or every customer that particular radius within a short period of time. So the key winning strategy is support, more so than reduced time of support. If at all we are working with ticketing, then it means we don't want something that could be solved, maybe just a loose cable. We don't want a client to be down and such a thing being resolved the next day. It has to be resolved within the same window of time that the client has raised the ticket. So ideally, when you compare with the other big players, they have a big footprint. They're almost operating in every market, and you'd get SLAs going up to 72 hours. You'd get installation dragging up to 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So we pride ourselves in operating in a small square radius, whereby there is a dedicated technician and a support team at that particular location.
I get it. So it's very basic on the small group that provides for a higher quality to support our client. Thank you for sharing this. Beyond the position in the market, technology is central for First Basic success. Let's discuss your technology approach and innovation. From a technical standpoint, how does First Basic ensure service stability and reliability?
In terms of technology and innovation, we have to now even accept our position that we are not the true innovators of the devices that we are using, or even the last mile connection on the deployment. But I would say internal innovation comes in at the last mile delivery. How is a client connecting to our services? If it's a home, so we first of all do a survey of the house, maybe do a scan, see where there is a blind spot in terms of wireless connectivity, or even fiber or even cable connectivity, and we now try to focus on those spots. If it's a TV, do we provide for fiber cable connection so that it's a steady connection, most of those picking small bandwidth? If it's a big house, we ensure that either we install a free extender router, or we install a free cable going into a particular isolated room to ensure that there is 360 degrees coverage of that particular house or office. So the innovation bit of us is for a business, for a home, we try to ensure the coverage is 360 degrees through installation of additional extender routers or installation of now cabling inside the house to ensure that no bandwidth is going unutilized or no bandwidth is going lost in between the transmission between the device and the main router.
Thank you. Could you highlight some key technology investment the company has made?
Yeah, sure. Just last week, we were able to invest on a new core router that is able to support a capacity of up to 100 gig. We are able to also invest on smart OLTs. We are able now to see the health of the router. We are able to see the health of the FTTH and FTTB devices that you have installed at the client premises. Before, we'd be using optical line terminals that we were not able to get intelligent report from our end devices that have been installed at the client end point. So I would say at the moment, just in the recent month, we have invested on a high capacity router able to do 100 gig. We have switched to a smart OLT, meaning we are now able to get more intelligence of our end devices. Thirdly, we have invested on a superior billing system that is able, we are now able to integrate things like AI into our support. The current billing system, the company is working on WhatsApp AI. So we are looking at probably in the next few months or probably before at the start of 2026, we'll be able to provide AI support to our clients using WhatsApp, now leveraging on WhatsApp, whatever the solutions that are already there. So we are looking at integrating AI into the support.
So it will like being using in next year, right?
Yeah, in the coming year, we should start to use AI for support services.
It's like more efficient to like answer some simple question to client.
So basically, the AI will be configured so that you're able to do troubleshooting just from the WhatsApp chat box or even from our website chat box. If you have an issue, you'd integrate before it now spirals down to an actual human being as a support. Then the AI should be able to solve basic features of support or complaints from the client.
Thank you. And how do you leverage data and customer feedback to continuous improve your service?
Mostly we use feedback to know how competitors are positioning themselves in the market. We use feedback to know evolving needs of client because a client would call, this client was comfortably working on 20 Mbps, but all of a sudden it tells you, I need more than whatever I'm being subscribed for because of change in my work pattern. Or you'd find most of them now switching to probably making specific inquiries at night. So you know that probably shift has moved from daytime use to wee hours of the morning use. So we have to ensure that even in terms of support or in terms of schedule maintenance, we use feedback to know when clients can be interrupted or when clients cannot be interrupted based on communication we are taking from the client. We are equally able to know all these things to do with the quality of the products that we are using based on the feedback that we are getting from clients. Because some clients will point out that probably the devices that I had before are able to do this and this, the new ones that you have installed are not able to do this and this, or probably the one that we currently have installed has a shortcoming or a weakness in terms of delivery. So it's at that particular point in time we go into the market and try to source for a new product that will be able to solve that particular problem that the client has raised. So we use client feedback to engineer the next steps for support, for maintenance, and even for the devices that we'll be using going forward.
So the technology aside, the broader industry landscape also impact your operation. Let's take a look at trends and challenge in Kenya's ISP sector. Kenya's internet service sector has been growing rapidly, yet it faces challenges like infrastructure gaps, regulation change, and capital requirements. What do you see as the biggest opportunity and risk?
Those who haven't complied but disadvantaged or at a very risky point because the regulatory authorities are clamping hard on them. Luckily for First Basics, we are fully compliant from all regulatories within the industry. Those who are coming in at this particular point into the industry, I would say they will be at a disadvantaged point because of the multiple regulatory requirements, which also comes with increased costs. Secondly, there is a bigger risk coming from the big players. Initially, they were focusing on the high-end market, but now, and so meaning if they were focusing on the high-end market, we are able to focus on the low-end market, mid-range to low-end market. But they have a new strategy whereby they are even coming to compete to us with us on the low-end market. And now the risk to it is the big players have multiple services that they can offer to easily woo clients. I would say SMS, I would say phone data, I would say TV subscription. They have all these things in-house. But for us, we are only able to provide data as a service. So the risk is going forth, consumers will not start considering bandwidth, will not consider pricing, they will be considering add-ons. Add-ons bring a challenge of requirement for more investment. Because if I'm able to if I should be able to provide data, then it means I have to build another whole infrastructure to provide data, not just the band, not just the basic Mbps, the one that you use at the house. Client will start inquiring about, I want my subscription that I've used at the home to follow me even on my phone as I'm traveling, as I'm on work, because these other big guys are providing the same. They're also providing access to, let's say, IPTV. Safaricom is in play with Showmax. I would say maybe Airtel will come on board with their own IPTV. It's something they're already doing in India. So as small players, for us to match that level of investment to compete at that particular level is going to be very difficult. But there is an opportunity to it. As they are focusing on going into the mass market, capturing everyone, high end, low end, mid end. As the small ISPs, let me not even use the word small ISPs. I would say tier 2 to tier 3 ISPs. Leave alone tier 1. Tier 1 are the ones who are bringing about all this competition because of all the add-ons that they have. And being that the tier 1s are going everywhere, trying to woo the low and mid client, there is an opportunity that will be presented onto us. We can offer specialized services whereby, being that high clients are being treated same as the low end clients, we can now switch our services to focus on the high end clients who will now start asking for reliability, who want for specialized and designated. They want for the high-end clients, they usually want you to be their focus and their attention. They want to call you directly as the director. They want to know that you are focusing on their particular need. They don't want to hear you serving some other small market somewhere else. So as much as these guys are going all over, covering all the corner of the mass market, we can now position ourselves to offer niche services to a small, particular, specialized client who needs specialized attention and specialized services. Being that we will not be having no big market share, we are able now to customize our services to take in a few clients but offer them superior services at a good price, which means a good margin for us. So there is an opportunity coming in that line, as much as the tier ones will be focusing on taking everything for themselves.
Could you please introduce a little bit about your customize your service?
I'll give you an example, something that we're working on. Let's say going to a factory. It has, let's say, 200 workers on site. We are coming in as first basics, tier 3 service provider. Let's say presently there is tier 1. We know tier 1, the limitations that they will have in terms of service delivery. We are camping in. First thing, you get a dedicated account manager. Second thing, you get a dedicated support person, both in-house and field. Meaning, if it's a factory, if you're able to open up your window, you'll always be seeing one of our team members outside your windows, just positioned there, waiting for any issue to occur to be able to provide support to you. And as we are coming in, we are telling you, we'll take care of your whole IT infrastructure, starting from CCTV to your telephony, how you communicate both internal and outside the factory. We can even follow up with your crucial staff members and offer them access their APN bundles. With the APN bundles, it means you can create a virtual private network with your staff members. So we are still able to collocate servers for such a factory through our rack at the data center or through an inbuilt data center that we have at our NOCs. You can be able to bring in your servers, we'll be able to host it there. From that particular point, at that particular point, we can be able to create a virtual private network for that specific factory that is now more secure. You're able to dictate who is going into the server. Through the APN bundles, staff can easily still work from home because we'll be the ones providing them support from the bundles that they will be accessing either via their phone or via specialized routers that have been enabled to offer APN bundles. So I would say the way we'll be positioning ourselves will be coming in, taking care of your whole infrastructure. We are coming up with a digital solutions department whereby we'll be doing ERPs. So if you already have an existing ERP, we'll just make sure we give you support on how best to use that ERP and how best to secure the ERP from the cyber attacks based on the network that we'll be building, that will be centralized to your specific need and designed for your specific use only.
Thank you so much, Wycliff, for sharing your insight today. We now have so much clear understanding of First's basic mission, technological innovation, and strategy vision. We wish the company continued success in helping business and individual hunt for the full potential of ICT. And thank you to our audience for joining us today. We look forward to see you next time.